Hey boys and girls, I'm going to take up the work from Tuesday, January 26th, the missing number guess and test. I'm going to use the space over here as kind of my my brainstorming. And I don't know if you had a piece of paper beside you when you were working on this, but I did say that you could use a calculator. And the strategy that we're using is guess and test. And guessing and testing sometimes is a little bit more for sure than just a guess. Because if you know your math facts very well for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, it might come a little easier to you. But you could definitely be guessing and testing on a calculator. All right, I'm going to start with the first question. An unknown number, which is this blank square here. Oops, let me move the toolbar over. This is an unknown number. An unknown number plus 4 equals 7. So I think to myself, what number could I start with and then add 4 and end up with 7? And there's a couple ways that you could do this. You could just kind of guess and test. So you could say, well, 1 plus 4 equals 5, and that's not 7. 2 plus 4 equals 6, that's not 7. 3 plus 4, that equals 7. That's a true guess and test. But you might know your math facts really well. And you might look at the number, or you might look at this statement, unknown number plus 4 equals 7, and you might say to yourself automatically, I already know that 3 plus 4 equals 7 because I know my addition facts. I have them memorized. So that's a way that you could find the answer as well. Number 1B, an unknown number plus 3 equals 6. And I think you should probably know your doubling numbers really well enough to know that 3 plus 3 is 6. That should probably be a little more automatic. C, unknown number plus 5 equals 9. Same thing, you might know automatically that 4 plus 5 is 9. Or you might have needed to do a bit of a guess and test. All right, D, 9 subtract an unknown number is 6. So you might start off with 9 and you might think in your mind, okay, if I take away 1, I'll end up with 8. And if I take away 1 again, I end up with 7. If I take away 1 again, I end up with 6. And that is taking away 3 altogether. So maybe that's how you did it. Or maybe you just simply know your addition and subtraction facts, and you know that 9 subtract 3 equals 6. Okay, the number here is a little bit bigger. 17 take away an unknown number is 13. Now, you might think to yourself that both 17 and 13 each have 10 because 17 is 10 plus 7 and 13 is 10 plus 3. So you might choose to ignore the 10 and think about this as a mental math strategy. 7 take away what number is 3? And if you know your math facts well, you know that that's 4. And so if 7 take away 4 is 13, 17 take away 4 is 13. F, 11 take away what number equals 9? You can just count backwards from 11 and you can know that it's 11 subtract 2 is 9. Or in your mind, you might know that there's a relationship between 11 and 9 and 2, and that 9 plus 2 equals 11, and 11 subtract 9 is 2, and 11 subtract 2 is 9. All right, G takes us into our multiplication facts. 2 multiplied by an unknown number gives me 6. And if you know your math facts well, then you would know automatically that 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. If you wanted to use another strategy because for some reason you couldn't remember that, then you might do a repeated addition, 2, 4, 6. That would be 3 groups of 2 equals 6. How about H? 5 multiplied by an unknown number is 15. The answer is 3. And you could try it in a variety of ways, or maybe you just know that math fact. I, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. J, what number multiplied by 2 equals 4? In other words, what number would I cut in half and get 4? And of course the answer is 8. K, what number divided by 5 is 3? If you know your math facts, you know automatically that it's 15. Another way that you could do that, if for whatever reason you couldn't remember your math facts, you can use another strategy. And you could say, another way of looking at this, an unknown number divided by 5 equals 3. In other words, what is 3 groups of 5? And you would count 5, 10, 15. 15 divided by 5, 15 broken up into 3 equal groups is 5. Let's take a look at L. What unknown number divided by 3 is 4? If you know your math facts, it's 12, or you could guess and test on the calculator, or you could try repeated addition of 4 groups of 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Sorry, 4 times is 12. All right, let's take a look at M. Now it starts to get a little different. And I want to point out that the whole purpose of the equal sign is to say that both sides of the equal sign are supposed to be equal. That's why it's called an equal sign. So if I write down an equal sign, whatever is on the left side is equal to whatever is on the right side. So if we take a look at this question, 5 plus 4 equals 6 plus an unknown number. I'm going to work it out over in my brainstorming side here. 5 plus 4 equals 6 plus an unknown number. So we need to find a number that goes here that adds to 6 and creates the same sum as the left side, because the left side has to equal the right side. So the first step would be to think in your head that 5 plus 4 equals 9. And now it becomes this. What number can you add to 6 to make 9? And again, you can use your math facts, you can use your calculator, you can count up from 6 if that's what you need to do. Hopefully you know your addition facts. 6 plus 3 equals 9. All right, let's take a look at the next one. 10 subtract 4 is on one side of the equal sign. An unknown number added to 5 is on the right-hand side, and they have to equal each other. So you have to think inside your head, okay, 10 subtract 4 is 6. What number added to 5 will equal 6? And of course the answer is 1. The next page, I'm sorry, I seem to have cut this one off. Sorry about that. But it's the same idea. I don't recall what number is over here. I've forgotten. But it would be this number plus 2 equals the number on the right. The extra piece of information in this question is the fact that the two unknown numbers are both squares. And so what that's meant to be is that those are the same number. So I'll say it this way. The same one unknown number plus the same unknown number again plus 2 equals the number on the right. So hopefully you can self-correct on that one, because I'm sorry I don't have that number. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 uses the same idea. A number plus itself again, plus a different number. All right, the same one number plus itself plus a different number equals 5. So if I'm going to guess and test that, I'm going to think to myself, okay, what is a number that I can double and still be less than 5? So it could be 1 plus 1, because 1 plus 1 is 2, that's less than 5. Or it could be 2 plus 2, which is 4, that's less than 5. If I did 1 plus 1, oops, I have no idea what happened there. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So these together equal 2. And the total has to be 5. So what's missing? Well, I know that 2 plus 3 is 5. So the circle number must be a 3. So it's 1 plus 1 plus 3 equals 5. The question asks me to do it again a different way. So lucky for me, I already did some brainstorming, finding a number added to itself, which would be less than 5. And so let's see what that looks like. If the unknown number in the square is 2, I need another 2. And these together make 4. And I have to get to 5 altogether, so I need to add 1. 2 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. Now, if you decided to try something larger than 1 and 2, it just simply wouldn't work out. If you did 3 plus 3 plus a second number equals 5, you would have a problem, because 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 added to anything, even 0, is not going to equal 5. It's going to be too big. All right, let's take a look at number 3. What number does the letter represent? So now in this case, it's kind of bringing us a little bit further along to something that we know as algebra. So far, we've just been doing these empty boxes. But in algebra, we are replacing the box with a letter. And in this kind of question, we can use any letter from the alphabet, all the way from A to Z. We tend to not use the letter L because it looks like a 1. And we tend to not use the letter O because it looks like a 0. So you'll find A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, 3A. X plus 9 equals 3. The X is the unknown number. An unknown number added to 3 equals 9. And there's only one option, and that is 6. So X must be 6, because 6 plus 3 equals 9. Okay, the next one is B. A, an unknown number, subtract 3 equals 5. So what number subtract 3 equals 5? Well, you could guess and test. Maybe it's 6. 6 subtract 3 equals 3. That's not 5. 7 subtract 3 is 4. That's not 5. 8 subtract 3 is 5. So A equals 8. You also might know your addition and subtraction facts automatically. And so when you think of a large number, subtract 3, becoming 5, in your mind you might go, oh yeah, that is 8, 3, and 5. 8, 3, and 5 are partners because 3 plus 5 is 8, and 8 subtract 5 is 3, and 8 subtract 3 is 5. Something else that you might do, and I'm not sure if any of you are thinking of this or if your parents helped you with this, but if you look at A subtract 3 equals 5, you might consider the inverse operation, and an inverse operation means the opposite operation. The opposite operation to subtraction is addition. So if you have the question, A subtract 3 equals 5, if you're wondering what A is, you might have had someone at home teach you, well, if I do the opposite on this side, I will get the answer. And it's true. If that confuses you, pretend I didn't mention a thing. But if you are thinking along those lines, that could be helpful for me to confirm that for you. Okay, let's take a look at C. An unknown number called n plus 5 equals 11. The answer is 6. 6 plus 5 equals 11 because 11 subtract 5 is 6. Or you might just have memorized that 5 plus 6 is 11. Okay, the next one introduces something else I talked about today, and that is the business of having a digit beside a letter of the alphabet. The X in this question, D, is not a multiplication sign, it's a letter X. If you were to write this, if you were to write the letter X as representing an unknown number, I would ask you to always do a cursive X. And I kind of wish they had done that here because some of you might have become confused and thought the question said 6 multiplied by nothing equals 18, which is confusing, right? Okay, but what it really is 6 multiplied by an unknown number is 18. And if you know your multiplication facts, you know that that unknown number must be 3. 6 multiplied by 3 is 18. Let's take a look at E. An unknown number called Y added to 5 equals 17. So what number added to 5 equals 17? There's a variety of strategies you could use. The answer is 12. F. 3 multiplied by an unknown number equals 15. N must be 5 because 3 times 5 is 15. G. An unknown number called B divided by 2 equals 8. The only number can be 16. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. H. 4 multiplied by an unknown number called X equals 20. X must be 5 because 4 times 5 is 20. I. Z subtract 2 equals 23. So what number is 2 more than 23? The answer is 25. 25 subtract 2 is 23. J. M, an unknown number, subtract 2 equals 25. M must be 27 because 27 subtract 2 is 25. Going down to number 4. What number does the box or the letter N represent? So in all of these cases, boys and girls, the box is an unknown letter. N is an unknown letter. Let's take a look at A. 2 multiplied by an unknown number added to 3 equals 9. So I'm going to write over here so that I can do a little bit of thinking. If I'm going to guess and test, I might just start saying, let's try 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So that's not correct. How about 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. We found the answer. 2 times 3 added to 3 is 9. B. Five multiplied by an unknown number, subtract 2 equals 8. Guess and test. I'm going to try 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. 10 subtract 2 is 8. I found it right away. When I do guess and test, I tend to start with the number 2 and then go to the number 3 and so on. In most cases, but not all cases. Some cases, you can infer other things. Okay, C. Three multiplied by an unknown number and then add 5 more and I get 14. You can do this with guess and test. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 5 is 14, so I got lucky. The answer is 3.